Welcome back to the Hollow Games Network. I'm Ginger Joey.
And I am Superman's new pal, Corey Olson.
Corey Olson. You know, honestly, for a long time, I wanted to play Jimmy Olsen in a Superman movie.
I mean, you
I,
can pull it off. Yeah,
I
you
think,
you,
I
you
think I
got it.
got the look for it. I think I could have
Yeah.
easily pulled that off. So when I was living in California, that was one of my ideal roles that I was trying to find, kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, the choices you had for Superman movies back then weren't great, but
It doesn't matter. It's all about me, and it's all about Jimmy. It's the Jimmy Show.
that's very true. It is. I would love to see a Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen movie, which I think is very possible nowadays with James Gunn in charge. I could see that actually happening.
I, I think people will be bored with that. So
I don't know if you've read the comics, but
I
some of
haven't.
the recent runs have been just really entertaining. Like they know
Okay.
they've figured out how to do it. I mean, the '50s ones were also ridiculous for what they were.
Like very comic reliefy kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're fun. Yeah, this is and really this is just because yeah, the new Superman dropped on Max. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's
Good
the
to know.
best Superman in a long time.
I was about to say, careful,
Well,
careful.
no, it's the best Superman since I would say the Reeves ones,
All right.
honestly.
All right.
Just flat out.
Good to know.
Because Zack Snyder doesn't understand story.
Oh, okay.
Let's get
Anyway,
rid
so
of here. Who's
this
gonna drive the algorithm? See, come on,
we
Zack Snyder Bros, come at me.
welcome to HGN's Sunday summary. So we're going to be quickly be going over what happened roughly over the last weekend. Again, we do record these Sunday mornings, so it's basically a big recap of the Saturday PQs that happened primarily. We had one here in the local area in Kent, Washington, that I
Yep.
actually went up to and participated in with a couple of my friends as well. And so I'll actually be going over my personal experience with that one a little bit as well. But the overall summary that we have for you right now is there was 13 PQs that happened yesterday on 9/20. Of them, we had, I believe it was five Tarkin towns were the winners on that one. But
Well, I'll double check right now. I've got one, two, three, four, five Tarkin towns. Yep.
so a good variety of them. You can see the competitive hub
Uh,
up on the
four.
website. Oh, four
Sorry.
Tarkin.
The
Okay.
the fifth one was 9:15.
Okay.
So four Tarkin towns.
So, but here is the list of them right here that you can see, obviously. This is, again, on the competitive hub, again, a website that I think you can get a lot of good data off of if you want to go to that. So, a couple things to highlight, though, specifically are this one, this Kazuda Red.
Yeah.
Great, Kazuda Red won one.
Love it. I
But
love
I
Kazuda
always
Red.
say this, you have to look at the player count on this stuff. 8 players in a PQ. Is that even a PQ at that point in time? That's barely even a local scene at that point in time.
We get more than 8 players at Guardian Games here weekly.
Right.
We had 20 out this last week. Like it's frustrating.
Well, the biggest thing that's frustrating about it is we have this new point system we're all trying to be utilizing right now. Great. It already feels like it's still weighted towards the top end for players to win. And now you have it being an 8 player PQ is being rewarded at the same value as a 128 player PQ. Something's wrong with that.
Yeah.
Great work in progress. I get it. We need to keep working because this point system is not, in my opinion, making players feel like they have a chance to incrementally get there. So,
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue that I feel with the point system is it's not as much well, yeah, as we said, number one is obviously there needs to be weighting based on PQ size. But yeah,
mhm.
also the big thing is it doesn't feel like placing in the top eight unless you get first place is really getting you there
Well, no,
because you're
just
not getting enough points in 2 through 8 to really feel like you're getting there without going to 50 PQs.
Well, I mean, you look at the biggest disparity is like between first and second. You have
Yeah.
100 points you get in, and then you have 35 points.
Yeah.
It's not even that like, oh, I got 50 points, so even if I just got second at another one,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Which would feel much better.
No, you would have to get second 3 times to actually qualify at that point in time. So that's a bit of a grind.
Yeah.
Especially it's like a lot of this, I mean, it's a lot of skill based, but sometimes it's just did you get the right matchup kind of thing. And if you didn't, you're just kind of boned.
Yeah, I
So
mean, it's my argument all the time. It doesn't matter how good a player you are. Sometimes you get the bad matchups. Sometimes you just get the bad draws and your opponent gets the great draws. That is the story of a card game.
sure.
and you don't have control over everything.
So having the weight so much on that top eight is to me the feels bad of the point system at the moment. We were talking at the PQ that I was at about ways that you could maybe like encourage players to stick around. For instance, this is an example of obviously rough, would need some working out because
Yeah.
there was a flaw that people were talking about. But it's what if you got 1 point per win that you got at a PQ. But if you get into the top eight, you don't get those bonus wins because
You
you're
get
already
top 8
getting your
points, yeah.
point eights points kind of thing. This would potentially help encourage people to finish the tournament and not drop because now if you do even so if I go 0-2, most people go 0-2 drop. It's of a 7 round tournament, 0-2, okay, but if I punch out, I get 5 points.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not going to make top eight, I still at least can incrementally make my way there. And if you're worried about it, oh, well, then we're going to have too many invites, raise the points from 100 to 200 to get in, but make it to where there's more ways to get the points.
Yeah.
And then make it to where the points trickle down farther, kind of thing, again, by the weighted system. Every 32 players, it goes 8 people deeper into the pool of players that are there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think some kind of a system like this is what needs to happen. The negative to that idea was people like, oh, well, then there's win trade. I'm like, if you're going to win trade and take a loss to give your buddy a win point that's
What?
going to eliminate you from getting the top eight, feel free is what I say.
Great,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like I don't that to me is no different than the intentional draws that we already see massively influencing the top eights,
Yep.
which is another grief that I have.
Which, yeah,
So
also an issue. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you're talking 3 to 4 points
right,
per PQ.
right,
That takes, I mean, you're you're not win trading for 3 to 4 points. Like things like that are not going to be that big of deal. And then you need, you're talking a ton of different, like 30 to 40 different PQs to
right.
even get to 100.
But if I'm participating in every PQ that comes my way within like a 4 hour drive, which in the Portland area we frequently
We
do.
do have a lot. Yeah,
Um,
we're spoiled.
well,
We
no, but
love it.
it's just we're all willing to drive that
Yeah.
4 hours to go play in these PQs and everything. It's you you encourage people to keep playing, and if they manage to have their day, oh, but they only got to, fourth place. They got their 25 points or whatever. If they're playing in every single one of them in a season, and you're getting 5 points here, 5 points here, and oh, I got my spike of my top eight over here, right?
Yeah.
And then that combined with all these incremental points, oh, I got my invite kind of thing.
Well, and how about, I mean, an idea as well, if you're worried about people being able to rack up too many points by going to too many PQs, you could have it be a dual requirement that you have to have 100 points and at least one PQ top eight. Something like that, as simple as that. And like, you just need a top eight placement. If you don't make a top eight, then you're not going to get the day one buy.
But honestly, if people are willing to travel, to
That's true.
commit
Yeah.
to do this, why care if you have a bunch of people? That should be
Also
good
true.
for your
Yeah. Like, this is
game.
great for the game.
You have so many people willing to devote their time and energy into playing your game
Yeah.
that you have a lot of invites coming to Worlds. Great, Worlds is a bigger competitive environment now. How is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
And then it's not like you're giving out the flights or whatever else like that. That can still just be your top echelon of players that
Yeah.
have like gotten the most points. How many points they have doesn't matter at that point in time,
Hmm.
right? I don't see the problem with having a much more verbose
No.
point delineation system. It doesn't make any sense that we're strangleholding the points for only the top eight. It still feels like you have to spike a win to get in,
Yeah.
and it just I don't know.
No, I hope Fantasy Flight does some rethinking. I mean, I don't think we're going to see it this season. I don't think they're going to change it mid-season.
They won't.
I would love for them to, but I know Fantasy Flight as well. They're so slow to make a decision. Force throw getting banned that should have happened months ago. Like things like that, that they are way too slow on these decision making processes. So we're not going to have it happen this season, but hopefully they do review the feedback and do think about this for the longer term of the game of start to make adjustments to this. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
The other thing I'd like to see them continue to work on is a better system than the intentional draw system
oh yeah,
because
that needs
this
that needs to change this season.
yeah,
That needs to change now.
this happened at the Kent tournament, and it was definitely like the feel bad, which also kind of spurred the conversation for the points
Hmm.
of like, hey, we need a way for like the players that are still playing to feel like they have a chance at something. because after round four, we did a 6 round tournament based off of the players, which is a 64 seat cap for this particular event because that's what the venue could hold.
Yeah.
So it was 6 rounds of Swiss. After 4 rounds, all the top seeds just ID'd out.
Yeah.
So we really didn't have a 6 round tournament. We had a 4 round tournament
Yeah.
because nobody else could basically get into that top eight after you got your 4 undefeated wins. And that's just a real bad, feels bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
'Cause it also then meant, oh, if I got even one loss, I think we did have one 4-1-1 get in,
Hmm.
right? So yes, there was that, but it's like if you got even 2 losses, why are you still playing?
Yeah.
Other than, oh well, I'm just hanging out with my friends and just, playing.
Yeah.
But there really was no incentive to keep playing.
Hmm.
Everybody could have just dropped it, wouldn't matter right then. And it's just like that sucks.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I got 2 losses. I mean, forget it.
Yeah.
And I want to see people playing the game, not just IDing into something. So I would honestly, at this point, after seeing the impact that IDing has,
Hmm.
I want to go back to double losses. And that's just when you build your
Yeah.
deck, you know going into the tournament that if I'm going to build a control and it's going to be a grindy, slow control deck, I might go to time.
Yeah.
So as a player, that's information that you have to make a choice about. IDing, I have no
Yeah.
choice in that.
You have no control anymore. So yeah, I agree. I mean, it's so ridiculous we don't just use those tiebreaker rules. The top eight tiebreaker rules of end of time, most health on base. There you go. Done.
Yeah,
Or most health left on base. That's the person who wins.
if they use it for the top eight, why don't they use it for the whole tournament?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not like that's a challenging thing to utilize.
Nope.
That's very simple. It's very easy. It's easy to understand, and it means you need to play all your matches.
And it also means that you know what those tiebreakers are going into your deck building process.
Yeah,
So if you choose to use a lesser health base or you choose to use a data vault base, it's a choice that you're making in your deck building that you have to live with.
yeah.
Okay,
And
fine.
then, and at that point, I do say we go back to ties or double losses.
Yeah, if you actually manage to have
You
ties on
have,
your bases and health
yeah,
and stuff like that, yeah,
yeah, ties will be a double loss then because there is a tiebreaker. So you shouldn't see very many ties.
right,
That kills intentional draws because obviously you're not going to ID for a double loss.
right.
So there you go. And people play out their games.
Yes, and that's the biggest thing is I feel like it's more politics after the first 2/3 of a tournament than it is actually playing the game.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
anyway, back to the
So
results for the
quick results.
PQs.
Yeah, I'll kind of chime in here. So again, this is the last week of force throw being legal, so we saw a lot of force throw as expected. But we're seeing a smattering of not force throws. I think you did see. Obviously, we don't have the full list of everybody at every tournament, but I do think there was probably a fair number of people coming saying, "Yeah, my odds are lower now bringing a deck that has problems against force throw, but the meta's shifting and I need to start practicing in tournaments on this deck that I want to use going forward, not worrying about force throw, worrying about everything else I'm seeing." And just, I mean, part of it is just hoping for the luck of, well, if I don't get force throw in my draws, awesome. So we're seeing numbers of that. We saw a few pop up there again, some Kaz's popping up yet again, which I was happy to see. We saw a couple Kaz Reds show up, which is great to see. Um, we saw Palpatine Colossus pop up again. Nice, nasty control deck there. Some other control decks did pop up here and there. We had a Kira Data Vault show up. Kira was devastated by Force Throw. That being gone, be prepared if you're going to a PQ or a tournament. You're going to be seeing a lot of Kiras in the future. They're going to be out in force. So you're starting to see at least a few of these pop up. And you're also seeing a barrage, as to be expected, of those CAD Reds. The CAD Tarkin Towns, basically the same deck as Bobby Sapphire. The CAD Tarkin Town Weenie deck is in force. I'm curious to see how that deck plays out over the coming weeks because a lot of people are going to be prepared for it and not as concerned about force throw. And there's a lot of decks that can build against that, particularly control decks. I think Raid Data Vault has a pretty good matchup against that, things like that, which I think we're going to be seeing more of that in the future. And we'll see if that deck can survive that. That's kind of been Cad Bane's problem in the past is it wasn't in an environment that was good for it. And I don't know if this environment's going to be good for it going forward.
I don't think it will be because
Yeah.
the PQ that I played in, I was on my Han 2 yellow hand destruction deck, but Cad Bane was always my bane of that deck. And
Pun intended?
yes,
Sure. Yeah.
100% intended. And after Bobby won his PQ, he has a great following. The KTOD crew has a great following, and so I knew there is a lot of people in this game that will net deck what the popular things are.
Yeah.
Bobby has influence, so I knew that the Cad Bane Weenie Rush version was gonna pop up in force, and I was
Mhm.
like, I can't justify playing the Han 2 when I'm expecting that to be out there.
Yeah.
So I hard pivoted to a Boba Data Vault just because I played it in the past and I know it works. And then it's also, if you're going to play the weenies, my indirect damage is going to put you in a nightmare situation kind of thing. So, because you're either going to be pinging your own guys or just hitting all your base, which is where I wanted to go to begin with.
Yeah.
So I switched to that. I faced two Cad Bane Tarkin Town decks. I beat both of them.
Yeah.
Overwhelming Barrage blows that deck out of the water.
Yes. And you're going to
So,
see a lot more of that in the
right.
future.
So it's a matter of do I survive that initial onslaught that I can get to my OB, and if I get my OB off, you're dead. And especially being Boba Fett, I have a built-in OB into my leader at that point in time. So now you're really having to keep not only my ground units away so that I can't OB off of a ground unit, you also have to then keep my space units at bay because if I'm going to flip in, you're dead.
Hmm.
So, and I mean, a lot of players are like, oh, because I'd flip to the ground a lot of the times against them
Yeah.
and just run into stuff or to their base. And they're like, oh, I was prepared for you to go to space. I'm like, yeah, you're red yellow. You're expecting me to go to space so you
Yeah.
can disabling Fang or bamboozle or
Yeah.
whatever.
You were prepared for that.
Right. Unless I'm flipping onto space to destroy your entire board with my overwhelming barrage built in,
Hmm.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's just something you have to like cognitively recognize and play into at that point in
Yeah.
time.
I mean, that's something we've discussed repeatedly is you need to, if you're playing a pilot deck, you have to always remember you can deploy on the ground
Right.
and you need to know how to strategically do that right. That's something, I mean, I've been playing pilot decks since last set heavily. I'm very experienced in that. And that's one of the things, I mean, I still make the mistake sometimes that I probably should have deployed on the ground here.
Hmm.
But it is one of those, yeah, always remember that as an option. Maybe you can't push out quite as much damage as quickly, but if you're going to just die instantly and not push out that damage anyway, getting on the ground to at least push some damage there is better. So, yeah, for anybody looking to play pilot decks, remember that and don't make the mistake of, well, I just need to make sure I'm flipping them onto a ship. Unless you're getting something out of it. Han Solo is a good example. Han 4, when you flip and get the resources back. But
Right.
if you're getting value, Boba, if you're getting that 4 damage, yes, then you want to do it for sure to get that when played. But don't always feel like you're safe and you're
No.
like, I could just flip and I can start swinging. It's like, no, no, remember that there are a lot of answers out there. So be ready for it.
Yep.
And sometimes if you think they probably have an answer, especially if they're a deck that normally does, go to the ground, start swinging there. Just give them more threats to deal with.
So going forward, though, we're going to be looking at is Tarkin Town still going to be a huge thing or not?
Yeah.
Because if you remove Force Throw, which is now, as of tomorrow, no longer a legal card, then does that bring back a lot more control decks? Does that bring back a lot more of your big mid range? Because I know Han 1 will start seeing more gameplay. We actually
Yeah.
saw a second place by a Han 1
We
green
actually saw we
yesterday.
saw a Han 1 yellow and a Han 1 green pop up in this last weekend.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we got two Han 1s that popped up.
And even in the force throw meta still, they still
Made it.
thrived.
Yeah.
So they made it there. So are you going to see them coming in on a big resurgence at that point in time? In which case you're going to get that mid-range hyper acceleration.
Or the
Does
really fast double yellow that
right,
Julian's gonna be back with his double yellow Han and just
probably.
zooming. Oh wait, 100%.
Does aggro still die? I mean, is Tark because Tarkin Town, in my opinion, is what's been throwing aggro back
Yeah,
hard.
it hurts aggro a lot.
So, but with Quinlan losing Force Throw, does that stick around in the same capacity kind of thing? It's always been a solid deck, but how much did that lean into Force Throw for its removal?
I think that hurts a lot. Yeah.
Had repeatedly been like control hurts Cad hard kind of thing
Hmm. Even
because
even some mid range can.
right.
Yeah.
But if control's going to come back, does that mean CADs go away again? In which case, those are your two biggest Tarkentown users. Does that mean Tarkentown's off the board, and now we can get major aggro decks coming back into play because they're going to be what's going to thwart the control decks that are going to
Yep.
be coming out of the woodworks. So we're definitely going back to that little bit of a wild, wild west of figuring out where things are going to lie. And in the Portland area, we got a couple weeks before we got sectors,
Yeah,
so we got to figure it out
we
real
got
quick.
one
So
weekend, and then we have sectors the following weekend. So it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm really excited to see what we end up seeing at sectors and what ends up just being, yeah, eaten alive because, yeah, like and Quinlan, I'm not confident that Quinlan can last through this. I think CAD's going to still have a place. It's still going to be there. I don't think CAD's going to be as widespread either. Like, I think, yeah, as you mentioned, overwhelming barrage is going to be in a lot of decks. You're going to
mhm.
have a lot of those blue green villainy decks coming back now, and that just wrecks that CAD deck.
And
So
does Kylo Tarkentown switch over to Data Vault or ECO?
yeah, I think Kylo Tarkentown's dead. That's my argument. Is I don't think that deck's strong enough without Force Throw to stick around. I think, yeah, Kylo ECL is probably, or Kylo Data Vault potentially. I haven't. It's not a deck I play, so I don't know it as well. But yeah, I think the blue green Kylo is probably going to be the better bet going forward.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
it's interesting to see. I do want to give a shout out really quick to also one of our local guys, Alex, placing third place up in Kent.
yep.
Props to him. Genuinely awesome guy, great guy. Play with him a lot. Very good player and just a very just a delightful person in
This
general.
is the
So
second
props on
PQ
him.
he's placed top
Yeah,
eight
he's gotten two top
so
eights
far
now.
this season. So
Yeah, good on
ain't
him.
the same deck.
Yeah, same
He's
deck.
on Hantu Blue. He's been on that for quite a while. So
Yeah, that's good. That's been his deck. He's obviously pivoting now.
we don't know that.
We know I mean he's probably going to be pivoting is what he was testing some new stuff this last week when we were playing
Oh,
because
okay.
he's looking at it's not going to be as strong without force throw, so he's
Sure.
looking at other stuff. But that is, I think, the one that does have potential to survive losing force throw. I think Hantu Blue has enough weapons without force throw to have potential. Always, as always, resource cheating is great.
Most
Like
people were saying that the Hantu Green picks up the slack versus the blue, and I don't quite understand that argument.
I mean, it's the addition of ramp is I think the biggest thing. Ramp helps it a lot. There's some very good green, especially. I mean, the healing with the green helps as well. Yoda's lightsaber that heal that saves you some. I lost a couple matches this last
I
week just because of that stupid three heal. It was that was just enough to stop me.
I was like my opponent at Worlds used a Yoda's lightsaber that allowed him to heal to where I couldn't even. I was one short of a surprise strike to actually win that match, and it won him the entire match.
Yep,
So,
I've had
yep.
multiple times that's happened. That little bit of healing can do it for you,
Well,
and
that's the appeal of Data Vault, really. I
yeah,
mean,
and data
because
vault.
it's the 3 hit points heal off of Yoda. It's the 3 hit points extra on the Data Vault kind of thing. That
Yeah.
three is your average hit, and so if you can get past that average hit, you're surviving.
Yep, 100%. So, yeah, again, excited to see where this goes. This week was a lot of death throws, I would say, of force throw where people were bringing it, but yeah, I think there was some variety there. I do want to highlight also, I think this is interesting that the couple we had some Piet Reds show up. That is
Yep.
a scary deck now.
Yep.
If you have not practiced against it, you should. I think especially the Piet Red thermal oscillator with the
Mhm.
smaller deck, so it's getting to its weapons quicker and
Mhm.
always finding them is scary. So if you're practicing for some type of tournament, make sure that deck is in your rotation for what you're practicing against because you're going to see it.
Yeah. So next week we are actually going to be at a PQ again here in the Portland area. Both Corey and I will be participating in that one. So
Yeah,
our Sunday summary is going to be on Monday.
yet again a
So
Discord Monday summary.
so we'll have that for you next week. But until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.